DC Studios has finally started with James Gunn's Creature Commandos. And this is Suicide Squad. That's, if you didn't get that from the trailer, I can officially confirm it for you that this is just Suicide Squad take three. They do have a fantastic cast and they have made some interesting story choices. And make sure to stick around as we unpack all of it, as we're going to completely review the first two episodes of DC's Creature Commandos. And starting off with the good, this cast is fantastic. I really do enjoy what they've done. Frank Grillo, I think, is a great actor. I liked him in Marvel. I'm happy to see that he's having some success in DC, and I think he does fit Rick Flag Sr. I mean, we've always seen him as this military guy in other roles, so I think it's kind of naturally fits in a good transition here. Whenever I see Alan Tudyk in anything, I love it. I'm a huge fan of Alan Tudyk. I did not know they're casting him in three different roles in this show, which is a little bit weird. But I like him playing Dr. Phosphorus, but that kind of has me feeling that Dr. Phosphorus may die. Just I don't know, hearing the same voice on screen three times in one scene could be weird. They pulled it off with D. Bradley Baker being clones, but they're also clones. So I'm
Yes,
not quite
essentially the
certain
same
how.
dude.
Yeah, I'm not quite certain how they're gonna pull this off with Alan Tudyk. But other than that, I do enjoy the characters. I think they are fun additions, but come on, man, you're really gonna start off your DC universe with Suicide Squad? That's that's just such an odd choice. I don't get why this would be their first project. Superman should be your first project. And I think these first two episodes kind of prove that this show is does not matter until Superman happens. And these two episodes prove that.
I'm not thrilled. And of course, we're probably gonna get shit from most of you guys because last time we got called Snyder Bros when we did our James Gunn video. And it's not that at all.
Snyder's
I
just as
didn't hate it.
bad.
I didn't hate it. But I didn't love it.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
a good way
telling
to put
Griff, I
it.
was like, yeah, I feel the same way thus far about this that I do about Star Wars Skeleton Crew. And grant you, both of them have only had two episodes, and we usually give I usually for me around mid-season, if you haven't gripped me, you're probably not. So I'm willing to give it a shot. I do love the cast, as Griff says. I think Frank Grillo, he was underutilized in my opinion in Marvel.
Oh yeah.
That just did I think they didn't know. Even he said so in some of his interviews. They just didn't know what the hell to do with the character. It was just sad because as Griff said, I think the dude's a solid actor, and I think he every time I've seen him, I'm either thinking either like I don't know, fucking Spartan warrior. Or I want to see that dude in like a Romish military movie.
Hmm.
This is right up his alley. I enjoyed him as Rick Flag Senior. I feel weird calling him Rick Flag Senior because to me, this is just my opinion. He looks about as the same age as the dude in the Suicide Squad, which is Rick Flag. But I like Senior more
Yeah.
than Flag Junior. Flag Junior was kind of a dork to me. Senior's got more. I don't know. There's something about him that I'm like, yeah, that dude's he could be a leader. And the rest of the cast, although
He's less naive.
I have no interest in them, they're funny. When they're
Yeah.
together, they're funny. What's
I
his name?
love
What's the
GI
robot's
Robot.
name? Oh
GI
yeah, GI
Robot's so
Robot is
funny. I
every time
love
he's
him.
on screen, he wants to kill a Nazi. That's his whole thing is like, can I kill a Nazi now? I love that. That shit makes me laugh. Weasel, I can't stand. I hate him. Viola Davis coming back as Amanda Waller, I think is a win
Oh
because
yeah.
she was, to me, her and Margaret Robbie as Harley Quinn were the best parts of Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad. I don't mind so much now having seen these two episodes that fucking James Gunn is like, yeah, so some stuff is canon and others. I think he's still trying to figure that shit out, which is okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to have a huge problem with it, but now that he's being more vocal about it, which is funny because he's been vocal about a lot of shit, but he's just like he's less vague if that makes any sense. He's like, yeah, so some shit is canon, some stuff is not. So we'll
What
pick and choose
what
as to
I'm
where before he was like, no, it's a restart. No,
yeah. What
but it's fine. I'm having a win with it. I think
yeah.
Viola's great. They could have recasted her easily, but I think if you're sitting there thinking she's a phenomenal actress, let's just roll with it. great, man. That woman can do no harm. As Griff said, Alan is back, but that dude's got such range. I'm sure he'll be able to knock it off.
Oh,
I'm
for
interested in
sure.
seeing, and I agree with you. I think Mr. Phosphorus is going to bite it because he's going to. I think it's been confirmed, right? He's also going to do Clayface's voice in live action.
Yep,
I want to see
which
that.
is stellar.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I kind of disagree with Edward about the whole DC continuity. So, in these two episodes, we have confirmed parts of the Suicide Squad are canon, parts of Peacemaker are canon, and that Themyscira has already been introduced to the world. My issue and my fear with this is that he's going to say that just parts of the shows are canon, that this is like a slightly alternate reality where events go a little bit differently.
That's
But
he's
just
come out and said that this week. So like with
fuck.
Peacemaker, yeah, he came out and said that like they asked him directly about Peacemaker because there's that infamous scene with the Justice League. He was like, "Oh yeah, that's not canon." But everything else is
That's okay.
in
That
that.
that's okay. Like that small
Yeah,
cameo, but like if they just pick and choose events and like everything else is slightly out of order, I don't like that because I think that's going to be very confusing, even for me. And I'm a huge fan of DC and all of this, but I think that'll be confusing as all hell to navigate. So I hope like okay, the small moments like that cameo, sure, or like removing the Justice League from the Suicide Squad for like just the connections there, totally fine. That's fine. But I hope that's the extent of it. And they don't just like straight out like remove Harley Quinn from DC canon,
I
or
don't think
just
so.
I
I think
hope not.
she
But
was
that's what
great.
my fear
I
is.
Margot Robbie, I'll Die on This Hill is first of all, she's a phenomenal actress.
Yeah,
She is one of the five most beautiful women on the planet, in my opinion. And she's a far better fucking Harley Quinn than Lady Gaga because Lady Gaga wasn't even Harley Quinn. I've heard some some of the chatter out there on the internet that like, oh, maybe she's getting up there in age. Dude, she's not. If you consider
she just doesn't
Margot
want to
Robbie,
return, which is fine.
I'm sure she would.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll see. But
but some people are like, she's a little old to play Harley Quinn. Dude, if you consider Margot Robbie an old woman, what
not
in
to
the
mention we're
fuck?
having an older Batman, so it makes sense.
She's 34. She's fucking young.
That's
What are you guys
totally
talking
fine.
about?
Yeah, 34 is totally fine. Some other things that didn't necessarily go well with this show is that there is a James Gunn insertion into the show. I'm not a fan of that. That was just fucking weird.
So we're texting each other as we're starting to now do that, which is funny because we didn't used to do that before. But we're texting each other as we're watching it because he started before I did. I had to go drop my kid off at school. So there's the princess, the character. She,
I don't
you
think
know,
it's actually the
she
princess though. I think
well,
that's we'll see, but yeah, I don't think it's the
she
princess.
seduces
Yep.
Flag by literally going in his room and getting ass naked. And Flag's like, nope, I'm gonna go to bed. And he takes off. And I texted Griff, I'm like, he's being a little bitch. Batman would have hit that. We all know he would have. The next two scenes, he's in there laying the pipe on her, and I don't blame the dude. And I had not gravitated toward that analogy that Griff brought up, but he could be right. Grant you, I don't. I'm not against it as a lot of people are because Gunn dates or marries women that are younger than him, but also these women are of legal age. They're not like,
Yeah, I mean
18 or 20
it's
year olds.
there's nothing wrong with the
Um,
scene itself. It's just more of he
no,
wrote this series,
what
and I mean
I found it funny once you brought it up because as soon
yeah,
as you said it, I was like, oh yeah, older dude with gray hair, banging a blonde, hot younger chick. I'm like, okay, yeah, that is
it's
him.
James Gunn, especially since the
Yeah.
scene is completely unnecessary.
But what I
All
found
there are
even
two sex
weirder than that,
scenes in this
yeah.
show, and they're all unnecessary, and the second one's even weirder.
Well, the first one, we don't see it. We hear
True.
it,
We hear it,
which
we
is
see parts
probably
of
just
it,
as bad.
but yeah.
But yeah, we see some dude ass. We see Rick Flag's ass, but Dr. Victor Frankenstein, yeah, if you guys didn't know from our backgrounds and obviously from the trailer, the bride of Frankenstein's in here. And she falls head over heels for Dr. Frankenstein instead of for the Frankenstein monster. Well, he fully bangs her.
A
And I
kiss would
found
have
that even
sufficed. That would have done the same thing.
I still would have found that weird, but
Yeah,
I found
I
that
would have
way
too.
weirder than Rick Flag nailing the princess because
I do
he's a
agree.
couple of corpses put together. But it's James Gunn's humor. Um, some of it landed for me, some of it didn't. I did love GI Robot. I think the
Yeah,
humor with him and Dr. Phosphorus is fucking through the
solid.
roof. Griffin and I both did not like the soundtrack, which is funny because I
Yeah, it
kind
just
of
doesn't fit.
I have grown to really like James Gunn soundtracks.
this makes me even more worried than put in Superman because the soundtrack here ruins a couple of scenes that would have been better if it didn't have the soundtrack. That's why I'm super worried about Superman. And also, we can assume this isn't Rick Flag's first experience with a Task Force X, right?
I would think so, yeah, because his
Why the
son's
hell
already
does he
had.
leave the detonator across the room in his drawer?
Well, he did make a solid argument for that.
Well, yeah, Amanda Waller
When he
still has
tells
one, but
yeah,
still,
she's
that's just
got the clicker.
asking to get killed. I'm sorry, that's stupid.
Uh,
Like,
yeah,
it's stupid.
maybe
It's
he
so
wanted to
stupid.
give him that level of trust, but now he knows better. I don't know,
That
but
maybe, but he even
but
said he
still,
can't trust him before. I don't know. That's
as soon as he went for it, I was like, I don't think he in my mind, I was like, I don't think he knows that the big boss back home, she's the
yeah,
one that's got the actual clicker. She'll blow your fucking head off.
yes,
And
she
Amanda
will.
Waller has no problem blowing people's heads off. We've seen her do that shit time and time again, whether it be in comics, animated movies, live action movies.
Yeah.
She will just press the button. She
Oh
won't
yeah.
care.
Even if you joke about giving her a reason, she will do it.
Yeah, she'll do it. She'll kill you.
Yeah.
She'll replace your ass with someone else easily.
Oh yeah. You guys are all expendable.
So this is the beginning. I am excited. This is the beginning, for better for worse. He
Yep.
keeps saying this is the beginning, but Superman's the real beginning. Just say that this is your beginning. Today, the new DC era starts. For
That's
some
exciting in
people,
itself.
for some of you lucky bastards that got to watch this last week, it started last week. It's a new era for sure.
Yeah.
Come hell or high water, we're in it here.
And we'll be reviewing the show each week, so make sure to come back for it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go check out our season finale of The Penguin. If you are a fan of DC, you may like The Penguin show, and go check out our thoughts on that.
Take care, guys.